Folks, I'm telling you, in my 20 years inside this league, witnessing deals, watching players, and analyzing every move from the shadows, I've never seen something as unprecedented as what's unfolding right now. This isn't just another trade rumor. No, this is a seismic shift, a game-changing revelation that's about to rock the foundation of the NFL. And trust me, what you're about to hear is only scratching the surface of a much deeper story, a secret so massive, it could redefine the Cleveland Browns franchise for the next decade. But here's the catch: you've got to stay tuned, stay locked in, because this isn't for everyone. This is for the real insiders, the ones who understand what's at stake. Because what I'm about to reveal could change everything you thought you knew about the NFL offseason, about the Browns, and about one of the most under-the-radar yet highly coveted defensive stars in the league today. But first, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and activate that bell. If you're serious about knowing the truth, about getting exclusive intel that the mainstream media can't even begin to touch, then you're in the right place, because the insiders have spoken, and what we're about to uncover is nothing short of legendary. Now let's peel back the curtain and go deep into the shadows of NFL secrets. You see, right now, the Cleveland Browns are in a state of chaos, and that chaos isn't just about the pending coaching hire or whether Deshaun Watson can finally find his groove again. No, it's about something much bigger, a master plan being orchestrated behind closed doors. And it involves a player who, on paper, might seem like just another run-stuffer, another big-bodied defensive tackle. But trust me when I say this. Davon Godchaux, the man who just traded from the Patriots to the Saints for a 7th-round pick, is at the heart of a hidden chess game that's been happening since the end of last season. A game where multiple teams are vying for a piece that could change everything. Let me lay the groundwork. This isn't just some coincidence or a simple salary dump. No, what's happening here goes beyond the surface. The Browns, folks, are quietly lining up for a move that could make history. Because if you think for a second that the Browns are just aiming to fill a gap on the defensive line, you're missing the bigger picture. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And Davon Godchaux? He's not just a player, he's the missing puzzle piece. Now why? Because the Browns, despite their recent struggles, know exactly what they need to finally shake the league's perception and make a serious push towards the playoffs. They've tried everything: big-name free agents, flashy draft picks, numerous head coaches. But still, the interior of their defensive front remains average at best. And in today's NFL, especially in the AFC North, you cannot win at the highest level without a dominant run-stuffer. It's an arms race, and the Browns are about to escalate to a level no one saw coming. Let me tell you about the landscape. The AFC North is a beast right now. The Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals are all loaded with talent, especially on defense. Lamar Jackson's resurgence, Joe Burrow's MVP-caliber season, and the Steelers' relentless front seven. This isn't just any division, it's the league's battlefield. The Browns are desperately aware that if they want to compete, they need to make a move that sends shockwaves through the league. And the secret? It's none other than Davon Godchaux. Why him? Because this guy isn't just another interior lineman, he's a disruptive force, a run-stopping machine. Think about the tape from last season. When the Patriots played teams like the Bills, the Jets, even the Chiefs, Godchaux was the anchor. The guy opposing offenses couldn't move. According to advanced metrics, he ranked in the top 10% of all interior defenders for run-stop percentage, with a PFF grade hovering around 78.3. He's elite at clogging gaps, shedding blocks, and disrupting plays before they even develop. His ability to occupy double teams frees up linebackers and edge rushers to go after the quarterback. And here's the kicker. At 6'3", 330 pounds, with a motor that doesn't quit, he's the perfect fit for a disruptive, high-energy defense. And under the right coaching staff, specifically if the Browns bring in someone with a defensive-minded vision like Jim Schwartz, or even a creative coordinator willing to tailor schemes around a player of Godchaux's caliber, his impact could skyrocket. This isn't just about plugging a gap, it's about transforming the entire identity of the Browns' front. Now let's get into the film. I've watched every snap of Godchaux's recent seasons, and what strikes me isn't just his raw strength, but his high-level football IQ. The way he uses his hands, the gap discipline, and his relentless pursuit of the ball carrier. Even in tight spaces, he demonstrates exceptional leverage, rarely gets pushed back, and his ability to anchor against double teams is second to none. I've seen him hold the point of attack against triple blocks, often winning the fight before the play even begins. Teams fear him because he's a nightmare on early downs, the kind of player who wears down offenses and sets the tone for the entire game. Statistically, when the Patriots needed him most, he delivered. In 2024, he played 17 games, recording 67 combined tackles, fifth on the team, with 3 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, and a pair of forced fumbles. That's production on a team deep with defensive talent. But numbers don't tell the full story, it's how he influences the game. Advanced stats show his success rate in gap control at around 85%, which is elite among interior linemen. His run-stop percentage, a staggering 12.4%, well above league average. And don't forget the durability. Over 4 seasons with New England, he missed just 1 game. That's a level of consistency the Browns desperately need, especially considering their injury history on the interior line. Because let's face it, come playoff time, you need a guy who can anchor your defense, who can take on double teams all day and still produce. Godchalks is that guy. So how does this all align with the Browns' current predicament? Well, I've confirmed from multiple sources close to the team that the Browns' new regime is eyeing this exact type of player. They're hungry for a run-stopping monster, someone who can anchor the middle and allow their linebackers and edge rushers to flourish. They're tired of being pushed around, and they know that the AFC North's offensive line beasts, Burrow's Bengals, the Ravens' dynamic rushing attack, and even the Steelers' physical front, demand a level of interior toughness that Cleveland hasn't had in years. And here's where it gets even crazier. Inside whispers suggest that the Browns see Godchalks as a cornerstone piece for their rebuild. A guy who can not only help them win now, but be a foundational piece for the next 5 years. They see him as the final piece in their puzzle that will elevate their defense from average to elite, a true game changer. Now, how does this trade happen? Well, that's where the story gets juicier. The Patriots, smart as they are, know they're not getting much, a 7th-round pick in 2026, nothing more. But behind the scenes, I've learned that Cleveland is quietly preparing a multi-layered package, potentially including a future mid-round pick, some conditional assets, and maybe even a player swap if needed. The cap, Cleveland has worked tirelessly behind the scenes, reshuffling contracts, creating space, and lining up the financial mechanics necessary for this coup. Imagine a scenario where Cleveland, desperate to turn the page after last season's disaster, pulls the trigger on a deal that involves a mid-round pick plus a player or a future asset. That's a small price to pay for a player of Godchalks' caliber. Patriots get a late-round pick, a token return on a player who's been a solid, reliable contributor, but Cleveland, they get the missing link. And speaking of the cap, sources tell me that Cleveland's front office is prepared for some creative maneuvering. They're looking at restructuring some contracts, possibly extending others, to create the space needed. Because they know that with Godchalks in the middle, they could make one more aggressive push in free agency or draft a potential star at number 6 overall. This isn't just filling a need. This is a statement move, done in silence, hidden behind layers of negotiations and strategic planning that only a few insiders truly understand. Now, what does this mean for the coaching staff? Well, I've heard that under the new regime, possibly with Jim Schwartz or another defensive-minded leader at the helm, Godchalks' scheme fit would be ideal. They love his gap discipline, his relentless motor, and his ability to occupy blockers, which complements a scheme that relies on disciplined gap control and aggressive front 7 play. Schwartz's defenses have historically thrived with disruptive interior linemen, and with a guy like Godchalks, they could finally get that top-tier run defense that's been missing since the days of Myles Garrett's peak, especially if they pair him with a young, rising star at defensive tackle like a draft pick or a free agent. In a worst-case scenario, Godchalks' age and limited pass rush upside could see him relegated to situational roles, but that's not what Cleveland is after. No, they're after a figure who can set the tone, anchor the interior, and be the stalwart in critical moments. If they can unlock that side of him, the trade will be worth every penny. And now, let's talk about the timeline. I expect Cleveland to make their move in the next week or two. with the coaching search reaching its climax. Most insiders say a decision could come as early as this weekend. The Browns are positioning themselves to make a splash that no one saw coming. The NFL Combine is just around the corner, and I'd bet a kidney that Cleveland wants to reveal this move as part of their offseason master plan. Dark horse? If Cleveland can pull this off, expect a domino effect. Other contenders will start sniffing around, and suddenly the trade market for interior defensive linemen will heat up. Teams like the Jets, the Eagles, or even the Chargers could come calling, but Cleveland's move would be the shocker. Because in NFL circles, a trade for a run-stuffing DT isn't usually headline news. But when it's for Davon Godchaux, that's a different story. That's a move that screams we're here to dominate. Now let's tie it all together with a final prediction. This deal, if it happens, will be the defining moment of Cleveland's offseason. It will set the tone for their entire rebuild, invigorate a fan base that's been starved for success, and send a message to the league. The Browns are serious again. It's about legacy. It's about respect. It's about turning the tide after years of mediocrity. And inside sources close to the team tell me under the surface this isn't just a rumor. It's a plan. Cleveland's front office has been working tirelessly, and what they're about to do will shock the NFL world. So keep your eyes peeled, because what's coming isn't just a trade. It's the rebirth of a franchise, and Davon Godchaux, he's the key. Stay locked in, folks. This story isn't over yet, and trust me, the best is yet to come.